Hey, thank you for joining me today. This is Andrew, and today we're going to be finishing up our BasePiece class as well as our piece manager and our board script. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but it won't take too long. So let's go ahead and open up Visual Studio and take a look at the board script. And looking at our board script, the first thing that we're going to be adding is this cell state enum, where we're going to have a value for none, a value for friendly, enemy, free, and out of bounds. Now this is the enum that we're going to be using when we check a cell on the board and returning the current state of it. So then we can be able to know what cells we can add to our highlighted cells list. And as an example, if it's a friendly, then we know we can't move to that place. But if it's an enemy or free, then we can. And the big thing that we've added to the script other than the enum is this function that we're calling validate cell. Now this is where we're going to basically be giving it an X and a Y coordinate, as well as the base piece that's going to be checking that cell, and we're going to be returning one of those enum values to describe the current state of the cell. And the first thing that we're doing within this function is that we're taking the X and the Y value and we're checking to see if they're within a value of 0 and 7. And if you remember, our board is 8 by 8. So we're basically checking to see if the piece is near an edge, if the path that we're trying to check is outside of our initial grid that we've set up, that we want to be able to tell it, hey, that's not a valid cell. So we want to go ahead and return the cell state out of bounds. And if both of the values are valid, we're going to be going to our two-dimensional array of all cells and giving it that target X and target Y value so we can get the target cell that our piece is going to be trying to get to. And then we have this if statement where we're checking that new target cell to see if it has a current piece. And we're going to take that current piece and we're going to see if it's a friendly or an enemy. And we do that by just simply checking the color. So we're getting the checking piece, which is the piece that we've passed into the function, as well as the piece that is currently attached to our target cell. And as a simple explanation, if it's a friendly, then obviously we can't move there. But if it is an enemy, we can move there because we can take that piece. But if the target cell doesn't have a current piece, we're going to be returning the cell state of free, which is basically saying, hey, there's no other piece here. And that about does it for the board script. We're now going to be moving into the piece manager, where we've added this new variable that we're calling isKingAlive, where we're basically testing to see if both kings are still alive at the end of the turn. Now you may want to rename this to if both kings are alive, which makes a little bit more sense for what it's testing for. But moving on down to some actual functions, we're going to be editing our setup function that we made previously, where we're going to be making a call to a new function that we've created that we're calling switch sides, where we're passing in the color black. And I'll explain more of switch sides once we get down to the definition of the function. But before we get to that, we're going to be looking at this function that I've called setInteractive, where we're passing in a list of base pieces and a Boolean value. Now this is basically going to set the interactivity of an entire team. So we're going to pass in the list of all the white pieces or all the black pieces so we can enable all the pieces for that team when we switch sides. And now looking at the function switch sides, where we're passing in a color. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to have an if statement that's going to check that if the king is alive. And if the king is not alive, we're going to reset all the pieces on the board, reset our Boolean king is alive value, as well as changing the color value we've passed into black. Now this basically for switching sides, whatever color you are passing into it, it's going to get the opposite of that color and it's going to activate all of the pieces for that team. So right now we have a Boolean value that's going to say is black turn, where we have a ternary operator where we're going to be checking to see if the color we passed in is equal to white. And if the color we passed in is equal to white, we're going to be returning true or we're going to be returning false, which is basically going to say if it's black's turn, we're going to return true. And if it's not black's turn, we're going to return false. And then we're going to be using that setInteractive function that we just created, and we're going to be passing in a list of either the white pieces or the black pieces, as well as the Boolean is black's turn. So here we are disabling an entire team so they cannot be interacted with, and we are enabling an entire other team so that can be interactable. And if you remember that line we put into the setup function, we passed in black, which is basically going to disable all of the black pieces and enable all of the white pieces, seeing as that white goes first when playing chess. And then for reset pieces, this is very simple. We just have a for each loop for all of the white pieces and all of the black pieces, and we're just calling the reset function on all of them. And that's it for the piece manager. Now we're finally going to be finishing our base piece. Now we're first going to go down into the movement region, and then we're going to take a closer look at create cell path, where we've added a number of lines to it. where we're going to be using that new cell state enum that we created within the board script, and we're going to be initializing it to none. We're then going to be using the current cell that the piece is sitting on to get access to the board and to the function that we just created that we're calling validate cell, where we are passing in our current X and our current Y as well as a reference to this piece. And if you remember previously, our current X and our current Y is the current cell that our piece is sitting on as well as an offset with our X direction and our Y direction. So the current X variable name could be a bit misleading. You may want to change the name to maybe target X and target Y. And to summarize, we're checking the validity of the target cell that we may be able to go to. But once we get a return from that validate cell function, we're going to be checking it in a couple of if statements down below. We're first going to check to see if the cell state is enemy, which, like I said before, sort of says, hey, there's an enemy there, so let's go ahead and add the highlighted cell anyway. And then within this if statement, we're checking to see if the cell state is not equal to free, which is going to break us out of the loop. And that's because whether we're moving diagonally, horizontal, or vertically, if we get to a particular cell that we cannot get past, then we can completely break out of this line of movement. And then like before, if it passes through all of these if statements, we're going to be adding the highlighted cell. Now leaving the movement region, we're going to move on down to the events region, where we're going to be taking another look at the on-end drag event, where at the very bottom here, we've added a call to our piece manager and the switch sides function that we just created, where we're going to be passing in the color of this piece. And that's all the programming for this video. If you go back into Unity and hit play, you should be able to interact with the pieces at the bottom of the screen, and then the top, and then the bottom again. You should also be able to interact with pieces that are on the edges, as well as be unable to go to places that are currently occupied by friendly pieces. And that about takes care of the entire backbone of our chess game. In the future videos, all we're going to be doing is focusing on the customized actions that each piece can do, such as the pawn, the king, and the knight. And that about does it for this video. Thank you for joining me. If you would like to leave a like, feel free to, and if you'd like to continue to follow along, you can subscribe as well, and I'll see you next time.